Hey guys, just thought I'd knock out a quick video for you. There's a few people who have requested some more videos, so I'm going to give it a shot. I'm just in the car on the way to an appointment, so I'm not going to be long and not all my videos will be in the car. I thought I would start at the beginning, which is what is PTSD. So I'm going to be as quick as I can explaining. PTSD stands for post-traumatic disorder. Regardless of whether you agree with that title, that's what other people have called it, that's what it's called. Basically, what happens is that as animals, that you can either be a predator or prey. So imagine a lion and a gazelle. A lion, as the predator, has a fear. His only fear is that he's going to starve to death. Driven by that fear, he gets himself into a situation where he sees a gazelle across the plain and he's worried that he's going to starve to death. So he gets ready to run after the gazelle to grab it so he can eat, so he won't die. Okay. Now, in that state where he needs to make sure that he doesn't die, what happens is his amygdala gets triggered and he goes into what is essentially, we know, as a fight, flight, or freeze response. Now, in this case, he's aiming to run, right? So you guys are very familiar with this response. What happens is adrenaline gets secreted. It runs around the body in the bloodstream. Lots of blood goes to the legs so that the lion can run really fast and sprint, catch the gazelle, and not die, right? If you are a prey animal, the gazelle, and you see the lion eyeing you off, your fear as the gazelle is that you're going to die because you're going to get eaten. So what happens? We have a fight, flight, freeze response, right? Exactly the same response. Adrenaline gets secreted. It runs through the body in the bloodstream. Blood goes to the legs, the muscles in the legs to pump it so that gazelle can run and not get eaten. Now, humans are both predator and prey. So we are inherently very much tied to this fight-flight response, this amygdala trigger that happens in a second where you think you're under threat, right? Some of you guys would probably know all this. So what happens is when a soldier or a police officer or an ambulance officer or a fiery or tow truck driver or civilian or anyone is put into a situation where they have a fear, a deep fear, whether they're actually fearing for their own lives or this is an intense situation and I need to switch it on, right? That same response gets triggered, that amygdala response, that fight-flight response. Now, we're not chasing after gazelle and we're not running from lions. So what happens in crisis situations, whether it's a work situation or a childhood trauma or victims of abuse, particularly young children, is as well as a fight response and a flight response, there is also a freeze. Now, freeze is exactly the same response. The adrenaline pumps, the blood goes to the legs. But if you're an infant in an abuse situation, or you're someone who's paid to be in that situation and you can't run, you can't flee the danger because it's your job to be there, we take option 3, which is freeze. It feels exactly the same, physiologically it is exactly the same, but there is no outlet. There is no discharge of all that adrenaline. So the amygdala stays in that heightened state of responsiveness, in that heightened state of fear, panic, action, I've got to do something. Because there's no discharge, because we're not running for our lives and we're not chasing down our food in that situation, we actually have to be quite measured. So for the purposes of workplaces, we suppress that. So we enter that freeze state where we can't run away from the danger and we can't fight it. We have to be in it. And what that does is it forces the amygdala to stay switched on. And that's why people stay in that heightened state of hyperarousal, unable to make decisions, emotionally cut off. If you're fearing for your life and as far as your mind and body and amygdala are concerned, you're running for your life, you're fleeing from danger, doesn't really matter what colour socks you want or whether you like this shirt or what do you want for dinner or are you able to pick the kids up, right? Do you understand? Because you're in that heightened state, stuff doesn't matter. I hope that's explained really quickly, maybe a new way that you hadn't heard it before. And comment below and let me know what you thought. More of these to come. Have a great night. Bye.